Good morning from Glenwood Lutheran Church. My name is Pastor Mark Manning. I want to greet you today on this cool October Thursday morning, the day after our meatball supper. It was very, very busy yesterday. 12 to 1,300 people came through and either ate here or picked up food for carry home consumption. And I want to thank all the people who came, made this so successful, and obviously all the people from our congregation and even non-parishioners who come and help with this community meal. And one of the great comments that I heard yesterday was that it was so good to be back inside together as a community, not just a community of faith, Glenwood Lutheran Church, but as a community. Glenwood, people from outside of the area. I talked to people from Alexandria, people from the Twin Cities who had come to be with their family members here at this. It was a wonderful reminder of what it means to be the people of God for the world which God created. Well, we gathered today, and this coming Sunday is the beginning of our 3-week emphasis on bearing fruits for Jesus. And today, this coming Sunday, it's Apple Sunday. We're actually going to have apples at worship to kind of be a tangible reminder of not only the kind of fruit that God creates for us to consume, but also the fruit that God wants to create in us for others. The first Sunday of this 3-week emphasis is dedicated to talking not about money, but about time. Time as a gift, and time as an opportunity to bear fruits for God and for others. Often, and I wrote about this in my online devotion, we think of time as sort of a string of seconds, 1 second leading to the next, 60 creating a minute, 60 of those creating an hour, 12 hours creating half a day, 24 hours a whole day, and so on and so forth. But one way for us to think about time is opportunity. And as we live in it, it's either opportunity used well or opportunity misspent or wasted. I want to read to you a little bit from a devotion that I have here. The central planning, it says, is the central planning and principle of all personal and all organizational time is simple. You have to prioritize what your time is, and then you have to allocate it accordingly. So you have to go through and think of all the things that you've got to do and all the time that you have to do it, and prioritize what's very, very important. And then you have to take what those things are very, very important and then also the less important things. And you have to allocate the time that you have to accomplish them. I think it's something that we already know from our lives and from our use of money. Most of us had to learn about this with money a long time ago. Rarely did we always have enough money to do all the things that we wanted to. And so we had to figure out a way to sit down and decide not only what we wanted to spend our money on, but what we had to spend our money on, and then allocate how we spent what we had. And the same applies to our time. Time is limited as well. We don't have infinite amounts of time. And so we have to decide what's important and then allocate our time wisely. In 2 Corinthians, Paul says this, remember this, whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Where you put your time is where you're going to get your rewards. If you put it in the wrong place, you will get things which are not as rewarding. So if you spend your time, if I spend my time unproductively, we are going to reap things which are not very productive. think about this a little bit when I think about my screen time on my phone or my computer. It's really easy, I find, at the end of the day to lay in bed with my computer, the one that I'm actually recording this on right here, and scroll through, news articles or look up things. Go to my favorite websites, athletic websites, and I have car websites I like to go to, and news websites. I go to Minnesota Public Radio website and these sorts of things. And all of a sudden, Joyce is sleeping, and it's 11 o'clock, and I'm just robbing myself of time that I could have been sleeping. And I might wake up the next morning then tired simply because I didn't really use my time wisely. I could have done those things earlier. I could have spent less time on things that were not as important, but I didn't. I didn't really look at the time that I needed for proper rest and allocate it and use it, and instead I rather unwisely spent my time looking at dumb stuff on the computer. Think about time in your life. Think about the time as this opportunity that you can't get back. It's not only an opportunity to serve God and to take care of others, but here at Glenwood Lutheran Church, I want you to think about how you use time here. Decide what's really important in our programming and what's really important in, as you see it, in the life of our congregation, in the things that we're trying to do, in the vision that we have, and the mission that we're trying to carry out. And then, having decided what's important, prioritize your time to achieve it. That means, of course, that you might have to, you might give up on other things that are less important. But if you do really spend time to think about what's important to you here at our church, and if you not only think about it, you not only prioritize it, but you allocate it, and that includes something as simple as worship, being in worship, as well as ways to serve, I think that you'll find that what you've done is not just used time, but you have created and lived in moments of opportunity. And you've used it wisely. Well, God bless you this week as we talk more about time on Sunday. I do invite you to be a part of our worship either online this weekend as I talk more about this, and we'll have a lay speaker as well. But begin to think much more over the next 3 weeks of how it is that we can, this week, using time, bear fruits for Jesus and for Jesus'